we must have approached them. And one point which he made was very right. You would think that Delhi would be liberal about this, the main cities would be. But the support we got was from the satellite cities. And even a city like Gurgaon, which is supposed to be this corporate hub and it's supposed to have these smart thinking individuals, principals jumped out of their seat when we said we want to make a film about homosexuality, which deals with sexuality in schools. I've received comments from parents saying, मेरे बेटे को उसकी कोई गर्लफ्रेंड नहीं है, मेरे को उसको सेक्सुअलिटी वगैरह के बारे में भी कुछ मालूम नहीं है. How can you talk to him about homosexuality? This is a class 12 student who's sitting in my audition room with his girlfriend. Right. And that is the big disconnect. The parents, the principals think that kids are dumb. They don't know what's happening, but hey, we have the internet now. 12, 13-year-old people are coming out with this. They are discovering their sexuality, and there's no one that they can go and speak to or address this to. So before we reach the higher authorities, before we reach people who are out there, I think it's the schools and the grassroots that need a major overhaul. All these teachers, my English teacher told me that making a film on homosexuality is illegal. Wow. And she hasn't spoken to me since then because I came out and said this openly, and she's angry with me. I've never taken her name. It's complete guilt conscious. I've never taken her name. But she's completely anti me, completely against this, because I came out and said what you're saying is wrong, and I had a different opinion from her. Nobody's encouraged to have an opinion.
And well, these people are the ones who kind of shape us and who kind of mold us as people. So when they have opinions like that, they kind of have a great impact on students and on people and parents.
Someone hit upon this great idea in India that if you don't like something, just say it's illegal. So it's like, whatever you don't like, it's illegal. So I just wonder, before we move on to the next thing, I think that, it's a beautifully made film. Whoever is here who hasn't seen it, it's a really nicely, sensitively done film, very well performed by all the various actors who are here. I'm saying that because I'm an actor. I just want to say, because you talked about parents, and it's something that the film sort of touches upon as well. I think, and you said, वो बेचारे parents जिनके बच्चे out हो गए और उसके बाद criminalize हो गए अगले साल. So it's kind of, it's a tough thing for any family, especially when there is cross-generational sort of values involved. I think that our parents and their parents cannot help that they were born in a time where we also have access to a lot more information and a lot more freedom of thought that perhaps that generation did not. And so in some sense, their fears are quite natural. And I think that perhaps as youngsters and as people who are fairly confident and, very sassy and clever with all our comments and whatever, perhaps we can help our parents by actually, by taking the first step of being honest and being out there about who we are. And again, which is something your film does very nicely. And challenge them to rise to the occasion. Because I have found in my experience and in the experience of all my friends, parents always rise to whatever you bring them to. Mostly. It's just, they can't help it. They're parents. So they may be scared, they may fight, they may get upset. But eventually they do come around.
Their love for you trumps everything at the end of the day.
On that note, can I just add, so the basic story of this film, where it's inspired from, is actually from this family. I was visiting my aunt in Germany, and over lunch she was telling me the story about an Indian family, Indian father, German mother, who disowned their daughter of 20-something years completely because she came home and told them that she's a lesbian. So, yeah, I see your point, but I think Sridhar might agree with me here that a lot of grandparents are way more supportive than parents. So it's a generation before them, but...
ऐसा होता था हमारे
ज़माने में. पता नहीं था.
Okay, one thing I want to just add, what Swara said is really important. If a person, a gay, lesbian, transgender person has taken 23, 25 years to come to terms with himself or herself, give the parent at least 1 year, 2 years, 3 years at least, let them sink in and try to build that bonding and relationship so that, they understand you. It's just something new. There's something different, So it's like saying that, okay, I want to have this completely different kind of hairstyle, and the parents don't know what the hell is happening with them, So it takes time for that mother to just get used to this different hairstyle. In the same way, I think it's really, if you really have a conversation, I think parents do really understand. But you know what? Okay, let me say this, I'm a gay man. I've been out for last 25 years. But my mother, I've been having this conversation for the last 20 years with my mother. But believe me, she's okay with me, she's okay with my partner, everything. But within that, because of the Indian tradition and culture, the word homosexuality, the whole idea does not really yet be okay. that is really difficult, believe me, because we are so ingrained in over the years to not accept it. So that is tough on any parents, you know.
My father has never been able to say the word boyfriend, and I'm straight. So even today, and there's been, well, more than one boyfriend, so he always says, and your special friend. So special friend. So, you know, it's I don't know. Maybe
Oh, your dad has graduated to special friend? My dad is like that boy you roam with.
That boy.
That boy.
No. Sorry.
What happens is like parents, they take it as a shock. So you have to come up with solutions. See, the person has got a problem. You also come up with problems. What is the point? You have to come up with a solution. That is like, again, very important.
Yeah. So before coming up with a solution, there's just one thing, and I'm going to take from where you left it. Indian culture, and since I study mythology, does accept homosexuality, and there's no two ways about it. There are several examples I can give you in Indian culture, in Indian scriptures, where homosexuality is not just accepted, it's celebrated. So anybody who says that Indian culture does not accept homosexuality or this is an alien concept is talking rubbish, because unhone Indian culture padha hi nahi hai. Second cheese, the problem with our parents is, and this is a slightly macro problem, the problem with the generation is, when the British came into India, we were so embarrassed of our culture. What we today talk about being Indian culture is actually the Western British Victorian culture that is being imposed upon us and taken away our Indian culture. And today when we see the US or you see Europe opening up, that is actually the Indian culture. So there's been a difference out of our own embarrassment, out of our own not reading enough of our culture. We today think that their culture is about accepting, for example, homosexuality, and our culture is about not accepting homosexuality. Added to that, you have thugs like Ramdev who come up with medicines that can cure homosexuality, and then the government supports people like that. So we have this problem. It's a problem that is what came first, the chicken or the egg, or the thug or Ramdev, what became first. And then you have moral policemen. How do you solve this? Well, the problem is, yes, you need the courts to intervene. Like you said, you need an online portal. But there's a slightly larger problem. The minority few have become such a loud voice online. And I was reading about Sonakshi Sinha and this other girl, actress, this very pretty actress. I can't recollect her name. She was trolled on the meat ban thing. I was on a TV channel when I saw that. Sonam Kapoor. She was trolled on this meat ban thing. You know, so when you don't respect another person's opinion, when you come out with this is how it is or there is no other way, I think we have a problem. And I think we need to start addressing that problem. And it goes back to saying that this is my life and I will live it this way. Like you said, you came out, and that's the important thing.
Right. So guys, we kind of discussed the role of parents and teachers with this issue, especially this issue. Well, we've discussed about the problems. Let's see what in your mind could be the right approach towards, you know, trying to explain to the parents and teachers, because they're the ones who finally mold and shape the youth. They kind of put in the ideas of right and wrong within the children. So what do you think should be the right approach that parents and teachers should take when it comes to dealing with issues like that? We're talking solutions now, guys.
Hello. Hi. Good afternoon, everyone. I think they should be more open to the idea of having a conversation with the youth, because at school, at a very fundamental level, like it or not, majority of the kids follow a herd mentality. Okay, you know, you want to be a doctor, fine, even I'll be a doctor. You want to be an engineer, okay, I'll be an engineer. There's no real reason why you want to do that. Coming to conversations, because everyone's following the herd mentality, so if I have a thinking, you know, 10 other people follow the same thinking without realizing what are their reasons. So here, I think the right solution would be to have an open conversation with the kids, respect their opinions, respect what they're talking about. Yes, you can guide them. You can talk about them, because as a youth, I know for a fact that I might be wrong. Even right now when I'm making this sentence, I might be wrong somewhere. I'm still young. So, but yeah, I think there should be more openness and acceptance that kids do have a mind of their own. Youth does have a mind of their own. And they should be given that freedom of expression where they can allow themselves to, you know, speak freely. And parents and teachers, they can always listen to them, not react, but talk to them about it and see what best alternate solution they can come out with.
I'd like to get Rikhil in here, simply because